Hello everyone, welcome to Photoplay's YouTube channel and welcome back to Tuesdays with Tina. Well, today I have here pre-designed card kit from Photoplay paper. It's called Handmade for You. So today I'm going to share with you how to put together these fabulous cards. This kit again makes 16 cards. I'm only going to show you how to make the 8 in front. First off, to create these cards you're going to need a few supplies from your crafty stash. I'm going to put this to the side and share with you the supplies that we need. You're going to need a paper trimmer. I suggest a 12-inch paper trimmer because your sheets are 12 by 12. It just makes it easier for trimming. Okay, you're going to need some scissors. You're also going to need some white twine. You're going to need a ruler, but my paper trimmer has a ruler, so I don't have that. You're going to need a corner rounder. You're going to need a hole punch. And then you're also going to need some baby powder, an anti-static powder tool, and then you're going to need some foam adhesive. I have some foam squares, large and small, but I'm also going to bring in some foam tape because I like dimension on my cards. If you don't like a lot of dimension, you could skip that step. I'm using my glue today, but you can also use a tape runner. And that's all the basic supplies that you need to create these 8 cards. Okay, I do want to mention that I like sparkle on my cards, and it doesn't say so in the instructions, but I'm also going to bring in some iridescent glitter glue. This is Diamond Stickles, and I'm also going to bring in some gems to embellish my cards today because I do like sparkle on my cards. Those are the extra supplies that we're going to use in our kit today. Okay, let's go over the kit contents really quickly. Of course, you get your cover sheet. On the back side are step-by-step instructions, card 1 through 8. First off, what I like to do is figure out what is card number 1, and on the very front I mark the pictures on front. Pictures are great for reference. So I had already did this. This is card 1, this is card 2, this is card 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So numbering the front pictures for reference is very helpful. Included in our kit are the 16 card bases. They're A2 and they're pre-scored, so all you do is fold them in half. Okay, what I like to do is fold them in half here, and then I like to mark them. I already did 3 here. I'm put number 1 right in the middle, number 2 and number 3, and I like to do all of my cutting at one time. What I do is take a pencil, and then we will mark number 4. Pattern paper is going to cover this, so I don't even need to worry about erasing this. And I do that for 1 through 8 on my card bases. And then I take each of my pattern papers. In our kit we have 3 sheets. They're actually double-sided, so if you flip them over, there's some beautiful patterns in here also. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay? But you would trim all of these out, and then you would put each panel inside the card bases. For me, this is how I do it, and I just think it's a lot easier when you put together your cards. Another thing I want to mention is you can actually customize your greeting for Photoplay paper. Customized greetings, what I mean by that is each of the sentiments, for example, you have hello my friend on the typewriter. If you don't want to make a hello card, this is actually this is the hello my friend here that you would use for card number 7. But if you want to make a miss you card and switch out this for I miss your smile, you could, or you could put you are so amazing. It doesn't have to be this greeting, you can switch them out, and I love that. And you can do that for all of your greetings. Let me show you here with these 3. This is the card reference on the front of card number 1 is the thank you card. But again, you could switch that out and make it a get well card. Best wishes on your special day. Or you can make it a thank you. So you can customize it to make it a birthday card, a hello card, a just because card, birthday cards. And I absolutely love this. So those are great options too. Also included are your sticker sheets. You get 2 sticker sheets since you can make double the cards. This again makes 16 cards, so you get 2 sticker sheets. pretty fabulous. Okay, today we're only going to make 8. So I'm going to take one sticker sheet, and each of my 1, 2, and 3 sheets, I'll put these to the side. I'm also going to grab my card bases. So that is the Handmade for You card kit. I went ahead and marked all of my card bases. What I'm going to do next is trim down my pattern papers. I'm also going to use my scissors and trim away the stickers and put them in each one of my card bases. And then we're going to start with card number 1. For card number 1, we have a card front panel of this pattern paper. We're going to go ahead and glue this to the front of our card. I'm making sure the darker floral print is to the left. This is where our twine comes in. I'm going to go ahead and take a piece here. We're going to wrap it around a couple of times. We're going to go 3 times around the middle of our card here. And I'm going to just tie a knot with this right in the middle. And then we will just trim that knot like so, and then we'll straighten up our twine. Just center this a little bit better. Okay, next I put some twine through our tag. If you wanted to put an eyelet through here, I think that would look lovely. I'm going to take my tag, we're going to add some glue. I already put foam tape behind here. And we're going to layer this right over that knot down the center. So I'm going to use an acrylic block to help weigh that down. Now I'm going to take my greeting that we trimmed out. Using my corner rounder, we're going to round the corners. All 4 corners here. And then I'm going to add a little glue behind here. And then I have a piece of foam we're going to put behind our greeting. And then I'll take this and we're going to put this right over our tag here. And then all we have to do is tie our bow next. All we have left for this card are 2 floral stickers. We're going to add one here to the bottom. And then for this one, we're going to layer this one right over the existing flower for extra dimension. Now we're going to finish this card off with a little bit of sparkle on those florals. Since we're adding glitter glue to stickers, sometimes it takes a little extra time to dry. I'm actually going to add some to our pattern paper flower centers too. And then we're going to top it off with a few gems here in our background. And that will finish off card number 1. And of course, if you don't like all this dimension, you can completely skip the foam tape. I think it would look just as pretty as if you add it without the layers. Let's jump into card number 2. For card number 2, we have 2 pieces of pattern paper. We have the striped strip here, and then we also have the striped paper here. We're just going to take this, add a little glue behind here, and we will tack this down, evenly spacing it on the upper sides. And then we have our stripe border. We're going to add some glue behind here, and we're just going to tack this down at the very bottom of this paper. Now our next steps are all stickers. Now it doesn't say to do this, but since we had the twine on our desk, I went ahead and added some twine and tied a bow with it at the very top of our bird cage. Let's add some glue behind here. And again, I added foam tape for some dimension. And we're going to tack this down. And then we have this little label. This is going to be for our greeting. We're going to do a little layering with our greeting. We're going to stack this at the very bottom. And then we have the greeting that says, "Thinking of you makes my day." And again, these are one of those that you could switch out. So we have our sentiment. Now we're going to add some florals here. I love that the florals can be layered, almost like decoupage. It just fits right over there, but we have that dimension we have this flower also that we're going to add to the very top. And then we have a couple little birds. We're going to put the yellow one here at the top. And then I'm going to put the pink one on this small doorway here. I love how pretty this is, and I love all the layers. Okay, we're going to fancy up the flower centers with some glitter glue, and then we're going to add some gems. And that's card number 2. Beautiful. We're going to move along to our next card. For card number 3, we're making a landscape style card. So we have this pattern paper. We're going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of our card. We're making sure that the stripes are at the bottom. We're going to bring back our twine, and I'm going to wrap it around the seam of the gingham paper and the stripes. We're going to wrap it around a couple of times and tie a bow off to the left. I also trimmed down 3 of the banners that were in our pattern paper. We're going to take these little border strips. This again is labeled, you see the number 3 here, which makes it really convenient. I'm going to take the darker pink. We're going to add it to the very top of the label here. The light pink scalloped edge we'll add to the green, and then the green we're going to add to the dark pink. So we have a nice little scallop detail on there. Next we have these little labels. We're going to take the labels now and add them to the center of our banners, and then we'll just add our last one. It's nice because you don't have to add any glue or adhesive. The stickers do the work for you. Now we have these 3 banners that we're going to add to our paper here. I'm just going to add a little glue, and we're going to layer this right underneath the existing banner, adding a nice little detail here, like so. And then I did pop this up with some foam tape. We're going to add a little glue. We're going to add this banner to the left. And then we can add our last banner right down the middle. Now we're going to add our butterfly stickers. They go right in the center of those little banners here. We're going to add our greeting stickers to 1 each. Let's add XOXO up here. There we go. And of course you can mix match your greetings with any of the stickers. I went ahead and put some gems at the very top of the butterfly and added a little bit of sparkle to those butterfly wings. And that's card number 3. For card number 4, we're making another landscape style card. We have this piece here. We're going to go ahead and add some glue behind here and tack this down to the front of our card, making sure the stripes again are at the bottom. This is going to leave a little bit of a border. For this card, we're also using this strip of pattern paper. This is going to go directly across the seam of these 2 pieces here. I'm going to take our greeting and we're going to fishtail the ends here. And again, you have 2 more greetings to pick from. Okay, we're going to take this sticker. I did put foam tape behind it. We're going to add a little bit of glue. And this is going to go right across the seam of the stripe paper here. And then we're going to layer our greeting right in the center of that. I love creating double banners like this. Now we have our floral stickers. What I had did for the flower buckets that go in our background, the bottom is still the sticker, but the top I put foam tape. You can see the dimension. You can see the dimension that it has. I put foam tape at the top, and we're going to leave the sticker portion at the bottom. All we're going to do is add a little adhesive. This one is going to go right in the center. And then we can add this flower bucket. What this is going to do is just give me a little dimension at the very top. Kind of reminds me of a flower shop. Now all we have left is to add these two florals. And we'll add this one, kind of sitting them on our greeting. Now we're going to add some sparkle and shine, and that's card number 4. For card number 5, we're going to make a cupcake card. So I have all of my elements. We have a couple stickers here with some flowers and a border. We also have a candle, and we have the bow, and then we have our pattern papers. We're going to take our black and white paper and we're going to add some adhesive and do some layering with this. We'll add this right down the middle, and then we're going to layer our floral pattern right in the center. Next, I'm going to take my striped scallop border. We're going to add some adhesive behind here, and then I'm going to tack this down on the front here, and then we're going to take our tag. I put foam behind here also, and we're going to layer this right over that scalloped edge, kind of centering it. We're going to take our sticker bow and just add this to the very top of our tag. Then we're going to take our cupcake. This is going to go in the center. We're going to lower it just a little bit because we're going to add a candle to the top. I'm going to add it here. And then we're going to decorate our cupcake with some flowers. Let's go ahead and add some flowers here. For my greeting, I thought we would make a birthday card, so I'm using the birthday greeting, and I'm going to fishtail the left and right of this. We'll add a little glue, and then I put foam tape to the left and the right, and then we're just going to adhere this across our cupcake. And card number 5 is all done. Moving along to card number 6, I have everything all ready to go. I put it inside of my card base. We have some florals, and I love the picket fence on here. We also have this purple scallop. We have a butterfly. We have the label, and then we also have some greetings. We're going to use For You today, so we can put these to the side. And then we have 2 pattern papers. We'll take our base piece, which is a card front panel. We're going to add this to the very front. We have our floral panel that's going to go to the left. We're going to evenly space it. When I say evenly space it too, I mean evenly spaced from the top to the bottom and to the side. And then we're going to add our purple scallop border. This is going to go all the way butted up against the edge of that floral pattern paper here. We're going to take our pink flower, and I put foam tape at the very top, leaving the sticker at the bottom. And we're going to add this here. So we have a little dimension. And then I did put foam tape behind my picket fence. We're going to go ahead and layer this at the very bottom of that floral panel. How pretty is this? How gorgeous. For this flower, we put foam tape at the top, sticker at the bottom, and then we're going to add this flower here. We're going to do the same thing to these flowers. We put foam tape at the very top, and then we can add the sticker at the bottom. So we have a little bit of dimension there. I love how they just kind of pop out. For my greeting, I put foam tape at the top and bottom of the label, and all we're going to do is add some adhesive, and we're going to tack this to our For You, and then I put glue behind here, and we're going to add our label over here at the top. Beautiful. And then we also have our little butterfly sticker that we're going to add to that very corner. Now we just need to add a little bit of shine. So now we have some shine and some sparkle. I did add 2 gems to the book plate there. And that is card number 6. For card number 7, we have a few stickers here, and then we have our background pattern paper. We're going to take this and add it to the front of our card. We're going to do a little bit of layering with this. Go ahead and add this. And then we'll add our green pattern paper. We're going to overlap these two here. Now we have this label or bracket. I love that it has a bunch of hellos on there. How cute is this? This is going to go across the center here. And then we can add our typewriter, which I did put foam tape behind. I just added a little glue. Let's tack this down. And then we can add our greeting. Just have it sticking right out of our typewriter, kind of centering it. We have some florals that go at the very top of our greeting. And then we have one floral that we can put down here on the corner. And that's all there is to this one. We just need to add some sparkle. And card number 7 is all done. For my final card today, I have all the elements that we need, these 4 pieces of pattern paper. Let's start by adding this to the front of our card. This is going to turn our white card base into a green one. We have our pink pattern paper. This is going to go to the left of our card. It's about 1/4 inch off of the left side here. Now we have our gingham pattern paper. We're going to put this right in the center of our card. And then with our yellow pattern paper, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to create a banner. I'm going to take my greeting really quickly and we're going to tuck this underneath this yellow banner. Let's add this right here. And then we'll tack them both down here. There we go. Do a little tucking with this. Okay, and then we can add our globe. Place this right over the top. Lovely. And then we can add the world to finish our greeting. And all we have left to do is add our florals. And that will finish card number 8 with the exception of some sparkle and shine. And there we have it. So here are the 8 cards that we made today with the lovely Photoplay Papers Handmade for You card kit. This card kit, I made 8 today, but you can actually make 16. And I do want to mention that we have some card kit leftovers that I'll be creating some cards with. Let me show you what's left over. Of course, you have all the elements to create 8 more cards. Okay, and then we have some stickers. Let me show you. So today we made 8 cards. Again, this kit will make 16. So we have all the elements to create 8 more cards here. Okay, and then this is what's left over. Of course, if you make the other 8 cards, you're going to have double of this. But I'm going to create 2 bonus cards using this here. So keep a lookout for next week. We're going to be making 2 more cards using the card kit leftovers from the Handmade for You Photoplay Papers pre-made card kit. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.